we're still in a pandemic, and during the pandemic something happened that I went ahead and bought a lot of plants. Like many of you, I think it was a pandemic thing to just get a lot of plants, especially if you didn't have a garden. So this is my plant house tour kind of thing of the plants I order off the internet basically, and some that I already had that I don't know the names of all of them, but I have written all the names because I don't remember them all properly, and some are really hard to say, of the ones that I currently have. And there's some unknown plants somewhere around there that I guess I'll just tell you this is an unknown cacti or something. To start the super tour, I got this recently, not long ago, as a plant stand, and this is where I keep some of my plants because this is the brightest part of the house. So I have a few around the window, and a few around here and a few around here. Then I have put these ones here temporarily because they needed more light, and I didn't know that, so they were kind of browning and they're not very happy, and they're doing fine here. So for the moment they're here temporarily until I get more shells, I guess. Then around here I have a few plants that I'm kind of sort of propagating. Then I have some around here that are my babies. And if you come with me to the bathroom, I have some here as well. So I'm gonna start the tour, I guess, officially, you know, telling you the actual names of this in the bathroom, because why not? The classiest place to start. So this one is one of the first plants that I had. So this one's been around for a long time. This one's called dump cane, and it's highly toxic. I didn't know that when I bought it. When I bought it, I was like, oh, it has loads of leaves and it's gonna look nice in the house. I didn't really know much about plants back then, but it's highly toxic. So it's, if you were to eat one of the leaves, you know, one of these ones, even touching a barley gives you like a rush. I haven't experienced that, but apparently if I were to like munch on one of these leaves, I would start not breathing, and that's where the name comes from, the dump cane. Then I bought this one in the supermarket. It was very, very small, and I thought at the beginning when I picked it up, I thought it was a fake plant. I was like very curious, so I went there and touched it and pinched it and it turned out to be a real plant. It's just such a strange plant. It was way curlier when I got it, I don't know. It's still doing fine and growing, but it's not as curly as it was when I got it. It's apparently native from Africa, so it actually likes a lot of heat, but it also likes a lot of water apparently. Like if you don't water it a lot, it dies. So now we're again in the living room with my 1,000 plants that I got on lockdown. So all the plants that I have had a lot of like leaves, and it was doing really well, but then I overwatered it and it just got root rot and just fell off the pot. And now it has roots. I don't know, you cannot see it there, but it has roots, and this has grown. These are new. These leaves here are new. This one has roots now as well, but it hasn't given me new leaves yet. So this is from my previous plants when I didn't know anything about plants. Another one that survived my awful plant parenting before is this one. I don't know what this is. I know it's a succulent of some sort, but I don't really know its name. It was, yeah, I bought it in IKEA, I think, as a succulent pack. I think I killed the other succulents, or I think one of those succulents is from the pack, I don't know. But this one, it's survived regardless of being like completely neglected for months in the bathroom. So now it's starting to grow back of the plants that I had. It was rotting as well. So now it has a new home. I'm like trying to propagate the little leaves that I showed you. I think I can see some, like, I don't know if you can see it. It has tiny little roots. Can you see it? And yeah, so these ones are doing okay. I thought they were like not doing anything for a long time, and then they started growing some roots, so I'm happy about that because I've never propagated them before. they come from this plant, because yeah, it got root rot. And yeah, so now it's in a little pot with better drainage and better care. I have two types of Monsteras. I have the Monstera deliciosa, which is this one here, which I was showing you, that just keeps growing and keeps growing. This one is a tropical plant, so speaks my language. I speak Spanish. I was trying to repot, because I've repotted it like 3 times now, and it just keeps growing. It just keeps growing. Like, I don't know why am I doing so right that it just keeps growing. As you can see, it's already giving me another leaf, and yeah, and well, I didn't have enough soil, so for the time being it's just like that until I get my ninja soil, which I ordered off Etsy. It's see, the aerial roots are going crazy, and they want to go inside the pot, which takes a lot of the space, and I've had to repot it so many times already because they just keep growing. When I bought it, it was one of the first plants I bought in lockdown. So it was when I didn't know that much yet. And I was like, oh, beautiful plant, you know, it will grow nicely. But then I thought it would be really big in like 2 years time. But in 2 months, it's just grown incredibly big. And now I'm a little bit scared. But still, you know, we'll give it space. It has space so far. The other Monstera I have, which is very different, this is more like a vining Monstera, Monstera Dansoni, and this one's a baby one. So I think it has different names depending on the life stages they have. And honestly, I wanted to see it grow, so I bought the one without the fenestrations. But this one gets holes all around the leaf, all around here. And at the moment, it's this big. It started like really small in a tiny little pot, which I already, you know, repotted. And it just keeps growing. No holes yet, no fenestrations yet. But it's a really cute plant, and it has kind of the same needs as the other Monstera. But it certainly is growing a little bit slower, I think, but maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's doing it as fast as the other one. Then again, it's a smaller plant. So this one's been living here for a while, and I guess I'll see if I maybe chop it a little bit here and then just make it grow from there. But for the time being, it's just the one vine. Let me just go show you. This one I ordered off eBay. It came in like a plastic basket. It's been repotted already once. So I repotted it recently. That's why it looks all like wonky, because I didn't really put the things back in where they should be. Because it was actually all around, but then I realized I don't really have a stand for it where it can go all around. So I reshuffled the vines to be like just on one side. That's why the vines are like wonky, like going where they shouldn't go. But it will eventually like readjust, you know, like you can see here. This was going like that, but then it's going forward instead of inwards like it was before. The second Pothos I got was from Coels, when I figured out that you could order from nurseries instead of just eBay, and you could get more plants. That's where I ordered from Coels, and I got several plants, and one of them was this one. I just wanted to get the regular, you know, golden Pothos, just because they're so beautiful. I love the Monstera deliciosa, and I just love Pothos, and like yeah, Pothos variations. I think they're great. They grow fast, and they make your house already feel like really green really fast. Also, they're really easy to propagate, so you feel like, oh, I can get free plants, you know. But yeah, this one's really cute and it's growing. I repotted it as well. It's giving me new little leaves here. This one's a new vine that's growing, and this vine, I don't know, it just decided that it wanted to be a different color. It's just really funky. I really like it, how it's getting like that. It looks like different plants, because this one's so green, But maybe it's my light situation in the house is starting to change its color variation, so I like it. This one's called Manjula Pothos, and this one has a lot of white and green splashes around. Actually, it should be looking more like this white, but as you can see, it arrived with browning, and the browning kept on going. I didn't know what was the problem. Here I'm still getting some browning on them. It's not as bad as it was before. It started to grow a little bit because I got it a little bit small, so it started to start binding. But when it arrived, I believe maybe they were overwatered from the nursery, or something was off, because they were already brown when they arrived. But I think in general people seem to have problems with these versions of pothos because they are very fragile and they can burn really easily. Here as well, I have a few here. They can burn really easily, or get brown as well if they don't get enough light, or if you give them too much fertilizer, or if you don't give them distilled water. So I had to do a lot of changes for this one to stop browning, and I think I've succeeded, because as you can see, these new leaves, these are all new. They are a lot, yellower compared to this. I don't know how to change that. I mean, they get plenty of light now. This is one of the pothos that gives me a little bit of trouble, but at least it's doing fine now, even if it's not as white as it initially was at the beginning. This one here, this one is my Brazil philodendron, and they grow so different than the pothos. Like, this is like a different variety, and they are like I don't know how to explain it, but like the tips are more elongated and they're like more pointy, like this, like hearts, I guess. And they grow a lot slower as well. Also, another thing they have that is different from pothos, or at least, well, the Manjula has a little bit of like this crinkly feel, but it's different from the neon and the golden pothos, is that they have this crinkliness to the leaves. And at first I thought I'm doing something wrong. Why are they so crinkly? Like, why are they like this? But after seeing other people's plants, I believe they are just like that. That's just the way they are. This one's arrived a bit damaged, so some of the leaves look not so great, but it's starting to grow. It grows a lot slower than my pothos, which is a shame. But hopefully, once it becomes a little bit bigger, it'll look a little bit better. It is giving me new leaves. For example, here there's a new one to open. This one was brand new and it just opened not long ago. There's more here, so it's giving me a lot of leaves. This one's tiny, but it's starting to give me leaves. This one seems to want to go upright more than the pothos, which is weird. So I don't really know what to do with it. Like, I thought this would start going down, but it's just going upwards. So I don't know. So this one here is doing really well. It grows weird, just like the Brazil one. Like, I prefer the way the pothos grow, and I just feel like they grow much more like nicer and adjust. But this one has beautiful leaves. They are you cannot really see, but they're shimmery in the golden parts. Not golden parts, in the like gray metallic parts. Maybe this new one you can see a little bit better of the shimmer it has, but it's really shimmery, and they're beautiful. Like, I really like them. And when they need water, they curl, so you gotta know when you need to water them again. And once they are satisfied enough, then they get really flat like these ones, because in nature apparently they grow around the trees and they fold around the trees, so like really flat towards the trunk. But if you have it in your house, they might just look a bit weird, a bit wonkier. But when they have just water, they become like flatter like this. And this one's just beautiful, and it's doing so well. I do believe that these kind of plants do better in non-terracotta pots. I repotted them in here because I thought, so I don't overwater them. But I've noticed that they like it more on the moist side than the dry side. But yeah, this is one of the other ones I have that I really enjoy. This is the one I kind of killed with the sun. This one's called Tradescantia flumensis tricolor, and I was very dumb and I put it into that window which gets direct sun around 12 to 1 p.m. and yeah, I basically burned it, and as you can see here, you can see some green on the pink. It just started going like green everywhere. It started reverting to green, and I started losing a lot of the pink and a lot of the white, and it was really sad, and I didn't know what happened. Right now it's not growing as much. It's kind of like just gotten stuck in with the growth at the moment. But I reported it not long ago. I had like a massive repotting situation. But yeah, it's still not doing so great, but still not dead, and hopefully it will start growing and getting new pink leaves. So then I went and I got another one of the same one, because I was just really frustrated that I killed the first one, and I really like this plant. When I saw it online, I was just like, this plant looks beautiful, especially with all the pink. So I got a new one. I don't remember where I even got this one from, but this one seems to have smaller leaves all around, and this one's doing really well because it's giving me little flowers here all around. And there's another one here, another one here, and another one here. Like, it's doing great, I think. This one's more of a succulent type compared to this one. This one likes more water, it's more like a weed, and this one's more of a succulent type of thing. I got this one from Coels as well. It was quite small, and I had to, you know, repot it basically as soon as I got it, and you know, make 2 plants out of it because it was so much stuff going on, and it's growing really big, and it's so pretty, it's so pink, and it gave me flowers recently, and yeah, this one's really cute. Likes a lot of light, not direct light, or at least that's how I'm treating them now because I'm traumatized. And these are the little seeds he gave me when it was flowering. So from these seeds, according to what people say, I can grow new nanooks. So I'm just letting it dry it out a little bit, and then maybe when I get more soil, I'll try planting these ones and seeing if I can, you know, grow new plants. This one's called String of Hearts, and is the variegated version, so it turns pink. If you give it direct sun into the new leaves, as I've seen, like honestly, the older ones don't seem to get that pink again, even though I put them into sun. Maybe it needs more sun, I don't know. But the new leaves, when they're like, you know, tender, if you put them into the sun, they turn really, really pink, and they kind of keep the pink. So that's really cute. And it's growing really well. It was in its nursery pot, and I also repotted it. It's kind of scary, but they're doing well. They're also succulents, and well, this is a succulent, and it's doing well. You don't need to water as much, and it's just a very beautiful plant. It gave me a few flowers at some point, but I think it was just maybe 1 or 2 at the beginning. But yeah, it's doing really well. I really like this one, and it's growing really fast as well. I've given it a little bit of seaweed fertilizer. So I think initially when I bought it, it was somewhere around here, the length of the strings, and now it's just, this has been like, these grew here in the house. So you can see the transition from here to here. All of this grew in the house. Initially you just had a very long stem, but they're doing really well, and hopefully in the future I'll be able to propagate some of this and have more free plants. But yeah, I'm just in love with this pink bed, especially this bed. This bed is my favorite bed. Like so pink, so gorgeous. I have this one here as well that I bought because Instagram made me do it, and there was also like a discount thing going on. It's pretty, but it arrived really damaged, and it still hasn't recovered from the damage when it arrived. It literally arrived with cuts like this. The place that delivered it, I'm gonna put the name somewhere around there, or maybe I shouldn't trust them, I don't know. It's a place from London that someone recommended it on Instagram from a plant influencer, and I bought plants from them. I think that's where I got this one from, maybe, and this one was fine, but this one's arrived not so great. The guy who delivered it had the box with the plants at the bottom, but there was no padding, and when he gave me this box, which one wasn't, it was a massive box that looked like it was a box for, I don't know, some like Hoover or something. It was a massive box, like with some branding outside that had nothing to do with plants. And the guy just gave it to me, and as soon as I grabbed it, the plants at the bottom were just like, you know, with no padding, so they fell, and the soil went everywhere, and the plant obviously was damaged, and I think they were already damaged from before. So that was not my greatest experience when it came to having a plant delivered, and also, you know, the plant arriving in not great condition. So I have bought 2 of these because I expected them to be smaller, but they were actually quite big. And right now it's giving me new leaves here, as you can see, but they kind of grow hidden. So this one's new, so that one's not looking trashy, unlike this one, for example, with, you know, pain and scars everywhere, and scars and scars. This is from when it arrived, and because this one was so big and had 2 of them, I recorded them and took some cuttings from them. So I have the other one here, and I think I took cuttings from this one mainly. So you can see it's still like damaged, it's so sad, but it's still recovering. This one grows quite slow for my liking, but hopefully it'll start looking so crappy. But it's really beautiful, like I really like the leaves. It's just a shame that they are very, very like fragile plants. They can get damaged just by looking at them. So I got loads of cuttings from that one that I've given to people and friends. As you can see, here's my propagation station, like I was saying. And I just took loads of the, you know, really damaged ones here. And I just, because they had roots, right? So there were loads of little plants. And I just like put them in little pots, and now they're growing new tiny little leaves. So I think my repotting has worked. My propagating, same with this one. It's growing tiny new little leaves. It's so weird the way they grow. If you can see here, it's just all wrinkled and weird. But hopefully it'll turn like this at some point. And this one's really pretty. This one's doing nice, but this one's not doing great. So I just put them in separate parts because honestly there were too many bits of it. It was overflowing on the pot. And yeah, and this will become new plants. This one is a Chinese money plant. It was given to me. It is one of the old ones I have. I forgot this one was one of the old ones. It was given to me by Nick's sister as a little gift to us, and it had a tiny little pot, and I just kept it in the kitchen where my cacti are, just over there. And to be honest, I didn't know much of the care of this plant, and eventually it just kind of wilted and kind of became very droopy and started yellowing, and the leaves started looking like transparent. And then after watching 1,000 videos on the internet on what was wrong, I repotted it and chopped off all the leaves. This is the initial trunk that it had, and I literally pulled up all the leaves of the little stick and put it back into the soil, and added more soil as well to the sides, and started giving it water and fertilizer, and just left it like that for a month or something. And then it started giving me little pups on the side, and this is one of the pups from the side. that just grew, and then the trunk started giving me pups as well. So it just came back to life after I basically killed it. Turns out this plant likes a lot of light, which wasn't getting where I had it before. So now it sits around here, but it doesn't like direct light. So direct sun burns the leaves and makes them go really curly like this. So sometimes I have to be careful with this window because sometimes it does get some light, direct light, and that's when I have to move this plant away. I got these as cuttings, and I'm not sure if they will survive, if we will see more of them. But at the moment they are here in moist soil, and I'm just trying to propagate them to get them to have roots. Some of them have already rot, which is sad, but you know, it's expected, you know, that some will rot, some will survive, some will make it. It's been maybe 2 weeks here, and I just checked today and not many had roots on them. One sort of had a little bit of roots, so I put it back in there, but I think I have to wait a little bit more, maybe a month, to see any improvement on this. I just hope they don't rot, because as you can see, the leaves are beautiful. It's similar to the nanook, where it's kind of like a succulent, and it has these beautiful, like really pink stripes in the middle, and it's just so pretty. Like, I don't know how to describe these things, but I just fell in love with it when I saw it. And it's also like a little bit rare in the UK. It's not very easy to get. I got it off eBay, so yeah. When I was trying to bring that one to life, this is one of the leaves that I just like chopped off the main trunk, and I put it. I tried to water propagate them for ages, and none of the leaves gave me trunks, except this one that gave me another leaf. But it didn't give me roots. So I was like, maybe it's just gonna stay as a, you know, as a plant. And I heard that you cannot really propagate them from the leaves unless they have a bit of the trunk, which I didn't really have any of them with trunk. And I wasn't very successful with the roots. Some of them gave me roots, but as soon as I took them out of the water, the roots fell out. So I put this one, which had a little leaf at the bottom. I just planted, and now after a while, that leaf, I suppose, turned into a pup. So it's doing exactly the same as the other one, where the trunk did nothing, but then it got a little pup on the side. So you know, it's like it cloned itself, and it's so cute. Like, it actually got 2 plants, and I honestly had no expectations for this one. It just grew. Why? I don't know. It had no roots. I literally stuck it in there and had no roots except for a little leaf that had grown at the bottom. So this is good news. So it's doing well here. It's completely moist as well, and just growing here. Same, got them as cuttings. These were actually given just because. Same with this one in here. I don't know, they just gave them to me. I didn't ask for them. I actually had heard of a string of dolphins, so I was curious, you know, when I got it, like, to see that the person who gave me these, the lady who gave me these cuttings, put these cuttings and this other one, which I honestly don't know the name of, just gave them to me. So I'm propagating them, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one because it seems like it's doing well. It's growing a little bit there, like new stems, I guess, or new leaves, and this is growing as well. Yeah, I just basically, this was a very long vine, and I just chopped it and put it into 3 bits. I also put the other dolphins around here just in case it would do something, but I don't think it's doing anything. Like, I just put them in the soil. I didn't really know how to propagate these ones, to be honest, but they seem to be doing well because this one's giving me new dolphins. But yeah, that's all the plants I got during lockdown. Some of the other ones that I already had and kind of brought back to life. And yeah, that's my plant journey. That's all my plants, and don't know. How many plants do you have? How many did you get? I think ordering on plants online is really dangerous because it enables my sickness. No, I'm kidding. It enabled me to get more plants whenever I feel bad, because being in lockdown hasn't been like super easy. I've lost my job. Thankfully Nick still has his, but to me it's been like a bit stressful just being indoors, and also made me realize that I don't like being on a flat because you don't really get access to the outside world, and it makes you go a little bit mad. So I just contracted that with buying little plants. So yeah, I mean it's fun, and I think it's fine to have plants. Like I literally have all the plants around here. This is Maki's bed, and she doesn't really go for them. She doesn't really mind them. She sniffs them, and just has a little looky, but she doesn't really do much. Just to the succulents, just succulents. She's like tasty succulents, but she just sniffs them. For example, I'll give her one of these plants. Maki, look. She just sniffs them. It's like, oh, a little plant, a little sniffy. But then she doesn't care much. She bites. Maybe gives her a little lick, but then she goes away. Then she's like, okay, bye. So I've been lucky that she's not, a plant monster or anything like that. I think when you get, I didn't really think of that when I got the plants. I wasn't really thinking, oh, I gotta find specific spots for the plants where Maki won't reach them. Like I wasn't really thinking of that. I was just thinking life sucks and I need plants, and I would just go to Etsy or eBay or Coils and just get shit tons of plants and then be like, well, I'll deal with the plant situation later. And I really didn't think of what could happen if I had that many plants, like for example having a fungus gnat infestation, because the soil I bought was infested with loads of little eggs. That's how I learned how to microwave soil to kill the eggs, how to use hydrogen peroxide to kill them apparently. Although that wasn't very successful when there was like a really big infestation, like for example with the dump cane. That one had it all around the pot, inside the pot, and the roots, they were all mixed up. That one, the hydrogen peroxide did nothing. Also with that you have to wet the plants a lot, and some of them won't make it if you constantly give it hydrogen peroxide to kill them. So I also bought some like insecticide and several other things. Thankfully they're gone now, all the fungus gnats are gone, and my plants are all fine. But it was a big learning curve to get that many plants, just the whole things you need to know about soil. So if you're planning on getting plants, or if you already have some plants but having lucky enough to not get an infestation, you should consider like stocking up on like some insecticide of some sort, or hydrogen peroxide, or there's some like beneficial insects. I think they're called nematodes or nematodes, which is what I used on all my plants. I just like water it to the plants. They basically live on your soil, and if you have any like fungus gnats eggs on the soil, they basically go and like munch all the little eggs. And even if there's fungus gnats around, if they try and like lay new eggs, they'll just go and eat them, and they live there for a long time. As long as the soil is kind of moist, they will still be there with the plants, at least until there's eggs to eat. Maybe after that's done, maybe they die off, I don't know. And there's a lot of YouTubers that are really good and that I learned a lot from. I will just put the links in my description of my video, especially Planterina. That's the one that I remember the name of. Crazy Plant Guy as well, he's really good. And Harley G, I think. There's plenty of plant tubers and people out there that gives you a lot of tips. So it's all out there. You just need to go and get the stuff and love your plants. And also have in mind, whenever buying a plant, and you see it online and you see the beautiful little bouquet size, double check, is this plant going to grow 2 meters tall and in width? Because maybe then you shouldn't get it if you live in a small place. Thankfully most of my plants won't grow that big, except the Monstera deliciosa, which at some point it might be a problem, but at the moment it's still manageable. But just to have in mind, if you live in the city and want to have more of a little house jungle, so just think of that, you know, how big are these plants gonna get, how much light do I have in my place. I didn't really think of that so I'm not the best person to give advice on that. I just lucked out because I do have a lot of light here, but if I were to move anywhere, then I have to find a spot for them to be happy, because otherwise they will die. So just have in mind those things, that you get plenty of light for them, and yeah, and feed them. They like seaweed fertilizer. They seem to respond well to them. So yeah, that's all my plant tour, and I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you also got some plants during lockdown, and I hope they help you like they helped me, because they made me so happy during such a rough time. It's still rough. I'm still looking for a job. I'm still like, there's still a lot of uncertainty in the air, and it's just not happy for everyone. So do whatever makes you happy right now. If it is getting plants like me and just getting into fucking gardening, dealing with fungus gnats, having to figure out, you know, pesticides and things, microwaving fucking soil in your house, you know, just go ahead and do it. Like, if it will make you happy, you know, at least it will get you something to be distracted with. Even the fungus gnats was a good thing, because he made me be distracted instead of, you know, depressed or whatever. So I think plants are really nice, and you should get some. Fake plants? No, none of that. But just be mindful of your pets as well, because they might munch on them, especially the succulents. So see you on my next video.